to also mention to Mr. President. Now, Mr. President, we are aware that many of your party members want to quit the agenda. Please tell them one more time. Maybe when you said so in Singapore, they didn't hear. Mr. President, Mr. President, you haven't spoken about your non-interest in third term in Ghana. Please tell your people that you are not interested at all. They shouldn't lead you into temptation. And by the way, it is not possible. Also, we have heard that certain people have filed certain processes at the court. We also have this to tell my Lord Bafubon. We know that this job was handed to you on a silver platter. We know that you have your masters to please. But my Lord Bafubon, in the end, when history is being written, it will be your name. And to our judges at the Supreme Court, Ghanaians are watching how you determine the matters that are coming before you, will question your own integrity. When you came for vetting, you made certain commitment to the people of Ghana. Ghanaians heard you. So again, the mighty minority is watching you. We will not be silenced by threat of contempt. If by criticizing the judiciary, they will march us into his home, we are ready to become prisoners. Thank you very much, and we'll talk later.
All right, Ghana youth, for your country, the nation demands your devotion. Let us all unite to uphold and make them great and strong. We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building a motherland. We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building a motherland. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please resume your seat.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't say thank you enough for the wonderful submission by the leader of the mighty minority, the leader of the 87th Infantry Battalion, who will now open up the conversation to our friends from the media. If there is any question, we are ready to take. My colleague, Honorable Jerry Ahmed Shaib, will be doing the justice. If you have any concern, you raise up your hand. Here he is going to play the role of the speaker. If you catch his eye, if you catch the eye of the member of parliament for Wega, then we'll be able to do justice. So now the floor is open for our friends from the media. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Kweku Sechedanso from GhanaInfuse.com. I just want to find out from the minority if there are plans after your internal context to bring colleagues together, because we see what is going on, since you want to stand firm and hold government accountable. Thank you.
Please, any other you announce your media.
Leader, thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Jibsambo, Ghana Page, and host of the constituency. Leader, you mentioned, and Ghanaians agree with you, the quality of debate advanced in the floor of parliament by the minority. Emphatically, you called for the dismissal of the foreign affairs minister. Are there other ministers you want to see who, or is it just a dislike? Is it just a dislike for the Foreign Affairs Minister? And is it not a situation where the job at hand is bigger than the labourers on the field, regards to the number of ministers John Dramani Mahama has appointed and expected? You also mentioned that the majority has 189. Have you already considered Ayawaso East to the majority?
Yes, any other please? Okay. Okay, please. Okay, graphic. No, Joy, then I'll come to graphic. Your name and
My name is James Abeji with Joy News. On the transport crisis in Accra and the other cities, the Minority Leader talks about the state of the state transport system and how government is not adding up to the numbers. In our recent interview with the Metro Mass Transit boss, he talks about the fact that some of these buses that have been disposed were done under the previous government. Minority Leader, I want to ask if you can give us some details about some of these decisions to dispose of some of these buses. I also know that you initiated an electric bus project before you left government to purchase about 100 buses. 10 have been brought. The status of that, is it supposed to be continued by the recent government, and if you have any update on adding up to the numbers? Plus, if there is any solution you can refer to government on this. Thank you.
Minority Leader will respond to these three questions before we take the next batch.
Yeah, so wait for it.
So let me deal with the first issue of post 31st January in Parliament. As you may be well aware, we've had a very civil engagement from Parliament. We, the 87, those colleagues who have been engaged in this discourse have done so with all civility. I want to assure you that these are internal matters. As for politics, things get heated. Soon after, we all rally behind the leader and the NPP flag to push the party agenda and to let Ghanaians know what we have for them. But you see, the NDC is busy talking about us. What they've also forgotten is that they also have a leadership contest awaiting them. And do also be fish. Omo the anybody can cry. Says I will I said don't get here, also thank you to. Meanwhile, no campaigning. They are young who say I saw buying your own preferred candidate. Jubilee House for I'm so more candidates. Already a flag bearer mom. Na party no so want the candidate. Inti enche dey be do almost. But the president can say NPP there. Nyame ya adoma after 31st. Ya ye war parliament. Ya real task say kwen bia so no. Ye de ba ko ye enka bom e be tai ni obe wini n'echi. Na ye nyina ya boa e ma party na akoneka. Inti no NDC for mo dwom no mo dwom fiase. Yanhwe krona ebia by mid this year. Omampei Mahama eba be name that president. Because obia pay to me. Which one vice president or so on the president. And then I'm saying that he said Annoh Haruna Iddrisu and running mate. He said chief of staff Julius Debra and also Namnokwai and also the president and also say the running mate and if you quit a majority leader and also on a baby on any Ablaka almost your permutation a finance minister and also almost say already president and also a pen running mate inti adiano atasa Yenya Elukopoku, Ono Agric Minister, One has a woman is you or grano. Sika is a somebody mouth. Nobody yet will do my common farmer. Also, very president. On opening a opposition and government. Our opposition and the cutting block. And nobody minister. Sika the bay to my grandpono. I asked some man. On who's already president. And this is what they are no. Into Omundi Omufiase. Now, Omunja Yedemai. Back to quality of debate. Yes, I mean, ladies and gentlemen of the press, I don't think that there is any debate on this matter. Check the records. We have become formidable opposition because each one of us, in fact, if you look at the first timers on our side, it's so reassuring that NPP indeed has a future. I told somebody that in future, it may be very difficult to make some selections because all of them are competent. All of them are determined. All of them have what it takes to deliver. So as for that one, it comes without question. Now, on the issue of the foreign minister, my colleague, we in the minority, we don't attack personalities. Follow the consistency in my public discourse and that of my colleagues. We don't do personality attack, no. From the vetting to the House floor to all engagement, we raise issues. How can our foreign minister have an engagement with some ambassadors, write on social media, and the next day we hear of an embargo? How can you claim that Israel deported some Ghanaians and without engaging, you also go ahead to say retaliation? You know, when we were kids, right? There were times that when somebody is provoking you, then you say that, wouldn't say when you're penny or won't, and I will yes, sir. So you are careful. If our foreign minister was that measured, he would have known that attacking Israel had consequences. I'll leave it here. A word to a wise is enough. So we don't have anything personal against anybody. In serious democracies, when a policy fails, the minister resigns. How can the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources come to Parliament and to defend an agreement, only to do U-turn to withdraw it for further consultation? Any serious democracy, you have to resign. So that call on him to resign is not born out of our dislike for him. Our call on Honorable Ablako to resign is not born out of any dislike or any ill will. There's a clear foreign policy failure. He's not walked the path of his predecessors. He took foreign policy to higher levels. Even recently in ECOWAS, Ghana has lost out on a lot of vacancies that arose at ECOWAS, all because we thought we were eyeing an AU chair for His Excellency the President next year. What of if the countries we are relying on reserve? Ghana is a regular contributor. In fact, we don't fail in our contributions to ECOWAS. Go for the records. We've lost out in employment in ECOWAS. Institutional heads, 0. Main employment, technical staff, the ECOWAS civil servant. Ghana contributes so much, but we are losing out. So what is the foreign minister doing? On the Metro Mass issue, we are going to call on the Minister of Transport when Parliament resumes to answer questions regarding why they sat down for a whole year without putting in place measures to beef up the fleet levels. It again exposes the minister's lack of clear vision for the transport sector. But would bid our time, put together a paper by the appropriate committee of the Caucus, and hold the ministers' feet to the fire when Parliament resumes. So bear with us. We want to do the right thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now we'll take the next set of questions. Okay.
Graphic.
Our colleague, the sector head, is here and would want to expatiate a bit on this. So please bear with me.
The ranking member on transport. After that, you ask your question.
Yeah, all the time before he comes, since he's the chairman of the
Is your question related to the same?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
don't ask any further question?
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, in the leader's presentation, I heard him accuse this government of failing to institute a properly functional state transport. But a recent report we read during your administration,
Use them or that's the reality?
he blamed this government.
But is that a reality or is an accusation?
So
It's a
I'm asking
reality.
a question that he cannot answer. But we all know that the problems that we are facing today in terms of Ghanaians having easy access to public transportation has existed over the years during your 8-year administration. I in Accra take public transport, and I always go through tough time at Circle getting access to public transport, and the unbearable first transport operators are charged. But we know that during your administration, there is a report that about 330 to 400 Metro Mass buses that were auctioned. Some sold as cheap, as low as 2,500, some of your chronics. Would you want to deny this report? Because if you fail to deny it, then we can also attribute the current challenge to some of your administration planning.
Graphic, please, can you reframe your question? Why is one an accusation and one a report? You are saying that there is a report that was an auction.
The accusation is that.
And then you said the other one is an accusation. So is that one too not an accusation? That's your last sentence.
No. Two issues here. The accusation is that, one, the minority leader is blaming this government of failing to institute a functional state transport. As a government which just, as a party which just exited power in 2024, we all saw that the very issue that you're accusing this government of were prevailing under your administration.
Okay, it's okay. Let's invest.
Thank you very much. I think your question is clear. So let me respond to the earlier one with regard to the auctioning of Metro Mass buses. A lot of people don't know what goes into the processes before any bus is auctioned. Let me take my time to educate. Yes. No, in auctioning of the buses that you are talking about, before any bus is being auctioned, it has to be certified by the Board of Survey. It is not true that buses were sold at a peanut. No movable buses were sold to any cronies. It is a palpable lies which being thrown out because of the recent event that is happening under this government. They are trying to just equalize, make an equalization. So I just want to let you know that it is palpable lies. If they want any full inquiry into the matter, like the leader said, once we resume, the minority is going to call for that. And we will have a public inquiry for Ghanaians to know the truth behind. Let us face the fact. There are challenges. Ghanaians are suffering to have, commercial transportation to their works and to travel around, and that is the most difficult thing, the problem that we have at hand. And I expect every Ghanaian to be concerned about it, to find a solution to it. we on the minority side will continue to assist the government with whatever ideas that we need to. So that is what I want to say. On the electric buses, yes, the previous government ordered 100 buses. The idea was that we want to bring 10 to try it, because that was the first time that we're adding EV buses to our fleet. So the idea was that after the 10, we'll bring back the 90. But we lost power. We were expecting this administration, this new government, to bring in the 90 buses, which already all arrangement had been done. They have decided not to bring the buses. It is up to Ghanaians to put fire on their feet and ask them why they have not brought those buses. So please, these are the facts on the ground, and I know most Ghanaians knows about it. So let us be factual about some of these matters, so that we don't, in an attempt to make any equalization, we try to put out some falsehood, which at the end of the day, we will not be able to authenticate it. So that is what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take the new set of questions. The next set of questions.
Yes.
Good morning. My name is Maurice Amofa from Annoh-Dompreh. My name is Maurice Amofa from Annoh-Dompreh. My question is that what steps is the minority taking to address the many hospitals and other key projects initiated by the former government that has now been stalled?
What are we getting? Yes. Next.
Yeah.
Thank you. My name is Ataminsa. I work for Ghana News Agency. Minority Leader, as you said in your presentation, that the minority will resist any bill that will come under certificate of agency. And I was wondering, because when the Pandai issue came up, even though the minority protested vehemently and even took the center stage of the chamber, but the majority was able to pass 8 estimates at that time. In spite of the chaos, in the midst of the chaos, they continued because they have the numbers. So how serious can you take this issue? Because you could not even sustain the protest. It is only that day that you protested. The next day you cooperated with them. How do you take this serious? Thank you.
This question, even before the minority leader came, I don't know how you are talking about resistance and then the protests on that time. We are talking about 2026, and you are talking about 2025. You are 1 year behind. Let's leave it there.
GTV.
Thank you very much. My name is Valencia from GBC. And my question is in line with what my senior colleague was talking about. So in his presentation, he made mention that the minority will not allow the majority to have its way this time. So we want to find out what way or what are some of the moves they're going to do. Are you going to be working out the chamber like what we saw in the previous setting, or what move are you going to do if the majority continues the government business regardless of your objection?
My sister, if you listen to my sister, Honorable Jenny, if you listen to the minority leader very well, he said unless they beat us. So the walkout is not an option here. And you know, that's the leader. We are the whips. So come out with a strategy. But the last sitting, the certificate of agency were too many. And after that, you now see that they are coming back for amendment of the bills that they have just passed into laws because they rush it. They now realize that there are problems. They are coming with amendment. Even gold bond. they will come with an amendment. Wait and see, because there are serious problems there. So that is why he is saying that we are ready to read. If they are not ready to read, we are ready to read and scrutinize every document. So rushing it, there are a lot of strategies as to how we can take it, and we understand it better than them.
But Chief, I'm wondering who discusses this or strategy. We should come and tell you our strategy. I don't get it.
Thank you. My name is Christian. With the insight and knowledge, I'm concerned about the losses you mentioned regarding the gold for reserves. Our Bank of Ghana records indicate that during your tenure, especially between 2022 to 2024, there were significant losses under the gold for reserves program. The Bank of Ghana governor admits to the losses and is looking forward to solutions. It's called for an all-stakeholder engagement to find the way forward. Are you ready to sit at the table with Gold Board, Bank of Ghana, in finding a solution to the challenges in the sector? Thank you.
Do you take the question?
So, person said you want to know about the losses. You see, it would always be convenient for someone to engage in, blame game and say that, oh, something happened yesterday, so why must you question me if same thing is happening today? Granted, without admitting that indeed there were some losses in the previous years, didn't they come to say that they are resetting Ghana? And aren't they supposed to do things better than they came to meeting? So the fact that there were some mistakes, just for the sake of argument, means that I cannot question you if you're doing something wrong. I mean, I don't get the logic in there. But be that as it may, we have filed a motion, and that motion has been admitted. Hopefully, we'll have an opportunity to do the scrutiny, and the governor would have to explain the actions of the central bank. Although, like I said, we have also become aware that they had a joint board meeting where the charges that were already originally or previously around 15% have all been brought down. 9.7, let me get the correct figures, I don't want to. When we're dealing with numbers, we have to deal with numbers properly, so I don't want to. Yes, it's here. We have 9.75 for the bullion and 9.55 for unprocessed gold. Previously, it was 15%. So you see, the minority scrutiny has yielded some gains. If the government thought all was well, they wouldn't have met to review this. Okay? So it tells you that there was something going wrong somewhere. We are saying that in gold trading, there should be no losses. That excuse that there is always an economic cost is not here nor there. Say that to little children. If the economic cost of implementing a policy will be that astronomical, then you better look for another policy alternative. If in implementing a policy, you want to stabilize your city, the cost will be so high that it will deny you the opportunity to build schools, construct roads, build hospitals, then you better look for another alternative. And that alternative rarely comes to mind. Invest in agriculture and make more money. If you invest in agriculture, your city will be more stable than going into gold for reserves, spending so much to stabilize your city, and then denying yourself the needed revenue. That's all the point we're making.
Thank you, our able minority. So we'll take the last batch of questions. I think you had your bite already. Oh, okay.
Please, let the question be straightforward. I'm advising. Else I'll take the mic.
I don't know why they keep that when it gets to me. Leader, the last time there was a voting on the floor, when the first deputy speaker quoted or mentioned the case between Justice Abdullahi versus the Republic, where the Supreme Court gave judgment that presiding deputy speakers could vote. And that day, I told leader, your numbers were really in minute. So where I was sitting, I thought there was some sort of conflict between yourself and your colleagues, that probably because NDC were able to marshal about 155 of their members, and we, sorry, I don't say we were, and you were, sorry, and the minority were only 25 in the house, but NDC were 155. So I was thinking that at that moment, Mr. Minority Leader, I was thinking that at that moment, I thought you should allow the voting when the speaker put in the vote, the question. But you insisted that, oh, I'm coming. You insisted that there should be a voting. And I saw some sort of nakedness on the part of minority. Because NDC were able.
Go ahead and ask the question.
The question was, how united was the NPP front when it came to that particular issue? Thinking that since we don't have since the NPP didn't have the numbers, so you should allow, the voting, and you call for a voting. Oh please, head count, and the head count exposed the minority that that at that moment the chief which put in the shell to the numbers.
Thank you. Next.
I told you, but I was still very decent about it. Any other question, please? Please make sure you ask your questions.
There is somebody.
Let's have some brevity and straight to the point, please.
Yeah, my name is Kwesi Kumsi, editor of Point Africa. Leader, I think last year, when the government was able to reduce the dollar from its rate downwards, there was an issue that from the minority that because the government was not spending more, the government was not paying contractors. That's the reason why the dollar. So now that the government has been able to sustain that, are you going to give the government credit for that?
Please, final question, Abi. I think the very question is anymore, so let's take the final one and that's it. Please, which station are you from?
Some of these questions, please, let's be guided that there is a press conference, the minority leader did a presentation, so let's stick to what is in the text.
Good afternoon. My name is Bright Boachi from Asifua Radio. minorities Southeast. I want to know the minorities' take on.
Is your station affiliated with CNN and BBC?
I want to know the minorities' take on the current happenings at Cocoa Board. It seems all our attention has been driven to Gold Board. So I want to know the minorities' take on what's happening at Cocoa Board.
Very, very good question.
Okay, Minority Leader.
Honorable members, lend me your ears. So we had a question from Ahmed on the numbers. You know, what we do in Parliament, we do it for history. And in the politics in the chamber, it's not always about winning. It's about the statement you make. So yes, you may be right. Anybody watching from afar will ask, the minority, you are just few. These guys have overwhelming numbers. Why don't you let it go? It's the statement you want to make that matters. We doubted the 155. In fact, the whips checked. They were 129. They were struggling. And you realize that it is only when we begin to hold their feet to the fire that they start to mash out their numbers. It's a fact. So it is not about us. It's about the impact we make on government business. So it's a strategy matter, which I want you to get it right. And it also goes into answer what we said and what we did. The other issue regarding the cocoa sector, I think our ranking member is here. So I will let him take it. He will take it up. Yes, my good friend, Mr. Kumsi, right? And your Kumsi. And the press conference earlier, the Caucus said, you are no about Ben. Almost said, I will be this from Kumbia. Ghana for your parents way out 1 year at the Jumaba. And Intino, City no so want. No poor woman said, almost promote Galamsey. To see how much you will be into gold. Sir, 9 more day or more year, in this one day, just for the optics. But ye said, on when be one man for say on to gold. And gold no move to on to be a. And so it is not today but tomorrow. Because almost more gold, you know, to me, any dollar no money back. Now I say a massive new stabilizing. But me know from 2025 budget in 2026 budget said Kwejuma, agriculture, fisheries. Really, there is no seriousness in addressing that one. Then again, KDB said 2025, finance minister when share contractors will come. In fact, a bank crampo and investing in the private sector and now even public sector deliverables. The question will be said, but Ceciano, I don't know almost sustaining because they are interested in the numbers. So I am a fallback, almost so they stabilize the economy. And your numbers here with you. Sir, a dano mobile almost your energy sector, a canal home. The on one country and say, whereas I go for buying a bond who would try, no what you want the lady about. I said, goodwill no one on may take advantage. Electricity tariffs from time NDC buy a payment. almost over 27%. Omo di kan here 14%. No omo di 2 bi kan ho. Na fe PURC so omo here consultation. Na omo ahwe. Na call minority me na me leading caucus. Ye call na e catch omo say look, ade amu ye strategy. Amu pese mo di increase tariffs. No credit. Ebenu. ECG omo say o containers bi aya and NPP for ni ade and no mo aye say o. Edu baby come di twi. Exre no minister ye ranking wa. Omo ko hia no omo so containers na enra ye omo emu ni na. Omo emu ni asemu. Now, ye catch omo say through the paper ye come on. They catch omo say ye started loss reduction program bi. Ewo ECG. Say losses no transmission losses ni technical losses no. Eno kan na e kan da ho. Ena nkoko bebre so twi electricity o mu tua bill. Companies omo twi illegal connection e doso. Nti yama a system bi embra e be ma Ghana obi abetwa electricity bill. So we ya ne sa e be boa akofo ada ban starting. Me kodi board che be se kusu mienu no. At least ni hu anamo ano omutu. Nti instead of pursuing reforms, instead of imposing higher tariffs, pursue reforms. They are not doing it. It's a major policy failure. So they are burdening you, pay more tariffs. So after 1 year, no more say I'm you a budget tariff. Then the worst part of it is that when we introduce Dumso levy. Dumso levy is bringing more revenue than the e-levy now. Almost say they are looking at over 4 billion, whereas the e-levy was giving us less than 2 billion. So you repeal the law, but introduce another tax that is burdening Ghanaians more. That is hypocrisy, that is double standard, that is matriculal government. That's matriculal government. Who was the e-levy here? On Tigana for me, person who e-levy bill, we have no tax. But who can top petrol there? 1 liter beer to 1 Ghana cedi. But how much say? What say e-levy? Momo no tax be a ban and yet into mu year for and the NPP. Now who are buying a buy no there? What did Dumso levy abase? Who got top petrol? Abobo ya Prajia Okada Trotro. Obi or better petrol biano, mutua 1 liter biano, mutua 1 cedi. Definitely, 419 are buying. What tricky Ghana for? Which are contempo because and no air costing more. Change said, e-levy. Into Mosamba.
Thank you. So our ranking on food and agriculture will respond to the BBC affiliate station question.
Thank you very much. We will be doing a separate press conference on cocoa, either sometime this week or early next week. So I'm extending an invitation to all of you to attend that press conference. But to answer your question, we are worried about the happiness in Cocoa Board. We are very worried. You remember in the run-up to the 2024 December elections, leading members told cocoa farmers that if they voted for them, if they give them power, they will increase cocoa from 3,100 to 6,000 Ghana cedis. In fact, the Honorable Finance Minister even went further to promise them 7,000 Megaji. Honorable Eric Obogu, Zambakaya, offered your phone in a call that yes, Waba. Up your phone in a so much for Banamana. Obama for 6,000 cedis per bag. And if you are 4% said, near walking, OGD, or say a banner here and to me and there, Napocono, na yɛ hwan dia. Nti sɛ mo tuma yɛ de bɛkɔ 6,000. What are we seeing today? What are we seeing today? And then a bag of cocoa, 3,625. I'm promise bonus nyina. Wa obi nya adaje na ga me de omo manifesto no biba. Promises akesi a omo ye every cocoa region. You basic processing factory. Every cocoa region. Omo basic cocoa college omo. Yes. That is what omo manifesto no. Omo agrafo huge promises. And then agrafo the amendment and fine. As of 3,625 from November, for the first time, Agrafo and me any project. For the first time, Agrafo and me project. Now, no can be friend. I've been in soup. Also, I talk go $100. The yare, ya prescription man. Otuminto, and yes, on this go, what talk go $100. Osimintia. Agrafo ni bi owa omuko obia omo say me go going nke 3,625. Obama be saying huge discount. Nani adoma ni bia no aton. And this our promising na mo de me agrafo. Amoni agrafo ni ye kura. Na se say de na ye tetie de ebi kura nsida. Na ye tetie no ebi nsida. So you percent price in the Quran na ye de ma won aye 3,625 no. Yes sir ba beti so. Na no de na de aka no. So mo ti so dia ene ko mbe ku ye nyina. And agrafo bebre omo e de force ye sre won and so omo kokoro no omo toma galamsefo e bi so omo di ahomete e ya asema ya reho pa na ye kan sam I reho pa ana ye kan sam se kure ni wa brain ho mo ye kokoro no se mo hunu se ne agrafo e pre obeti kokoro obebo ano obebo obepu asana wo dia begu apaso wanum ebinom soa kwantintin asana wo dia akọ ba bi etokoko ene koko board omo de LBCs ne ka over 10 billion LBCs no omo de omo koko party over centers na omo tia na na do dan ko akufo ado o de me press conference mi toso e ya
Thank you.
Okay, the leader will have the last point.
Our media colleagues, in this era of information fluidity, misinformation and disinformation, it's important that when we speak to you and there's some ambiguity, we clarify ahead of time. When the minority says that it will resist every attempt by the majority to rush bills and government policies through parliament, what it means is that the minority will use all legitimate tools available within the standing orders of Parliament and the Constitution and all known laws that govern Parliament. So I don't want us to leave here with anybody thinking that our statement to resist means lawlessness. No. So just that clarification is very important. Thank you very much.
All right, our friends from the media, let me, on behalf of the mighty minority, thank you for making time to engage or be part of this media engagement, holding power to account a year of active and responsible minority. And just a few announcements. From here, we'll move to the MP's cafeteria. There is, what's the time now? 12:25. There is a branch there, or lunch. It's lunch or brunch. Then we can be able to eat together or dine together and interact. If there are further clarifications, you can see my colleagues, MPs from the mighty minority. One good thing about the minority is that anybody, you can ask them any question and they will be able to respond because they are very, very well composed and ready at all times. So we will be taking a group photograph, the minority will be taking a group photograph here, and after that we'll go to the MP's cafeteria and have our lunch. So let me thank you so much, and then let's build a better relationship. The media, your friends in this democracy is a minority. Because we do the same thing together. We are your friends.
Please, you remember to resume your seat. Don't move yet. We need to have a word of prayer before we leave. Please, we take the photo, have a word of prayer before we leave.
Thank you all for watching. Keep
Thank
on
you very much,
Ghana Spotlight, and you guys should really subscribe to the channel and let's make it to the top. Thank you all. Bye-bye. We'll be continuing at I Should Speed Live right here.